All right, folks, I want to thank you all for coming out today to support me as we kick off this this new venture here on the shores of the Occoquan under the auspices of Five Guys headquarters. But and first of all, I just want to thank Toddy for first of all for her 24 years of service in the Mount Vernon community. You know, she leaves just huge shoes to fill. Not just for everything she's done, but just more specifically, you know, there's 22,000 veterans in the 36th district, and those veterans have had no fiercer advocate in the Virginia legislature other than Senator Fuller. And, her passion for veterans, she wears on her sleeve, and she lives it every day, and she lives it in the legislature every day. She also has been a tremendous advocate for the Route 1 corridor. Route 1 has been her passion since she was first elected. When I started trying to figure out what to do about Route 1, I look back at legislative history, and there's bills about Route 1 going back to 1994. And Toddy's been fighting for Route 1 since the day she got elected, and even when she got into the Senate, she kept up that fight. And I also just want to say about Senator Fuller, she has a really deep sense of history about her district. You know, her Senate seat, it still includes a little bit of George Washington's estate. It used to include his house. She's still kind of angry about that.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, but she has a deep reverence for General Washington. You know, she gives the one day she came back for session this year after the first week, she came back to give her George Washington speech, and that sort of turned into Toddy Day in the state Senate. But Toddy gives her George Washington speech every year, gives out George Washington's rules of civility, and she also really feels strongly about George Mason, whose house also is within the 36th district still. And he's the author of the first part of the Virginia Constitution that's still there today. And she feels very strongly about that. And again, leaves me big shoes to fill. And I look forward to continue to mentor with her on those issues because she's got a lot of history and perspective on it that I don't have. She's been living it for 24 years. So, and I can't tell you, Ty, how much I appreciate your endorsement and the confidence you put in me to take your seat after you've left. But thank you very much. While they're up here, I want to thank Chap. Chap in a lot of ways got me into this mess. I think he took off. He had a baseball game to get to, but a basketball. Okay, Chap. It's hard to have two legislators in one law firm. It's not good for the bottom line. You have two people that are not billing away for 3 months of the year, but Chap's a good mentor for me as well, and he nudges me in the back. And ever since he first ran for the House in 2001, we've been supporting each other in these efforts, and he's a mentor to me as well. Lopez is the conscience of new Americans in the legislature. Appreciate him being here and his friendship that he gives. Alfonso, as you can see, he wears that heart on his sleeve and fights every day. And I'm glad to have him here, along with Dave, Jennifer, Dave, and Marcus. My colleagues in the legislature, we fight every day down in Richmond. And it is a fight down there, especially for those of us in the House of Delegates who toil away against a 68-vote majority. It's you have to have a lot of heart and fight in you to serve in those conditions. Also, I want to thank my family who's here. My wife couldn't make it. My daughter's actually playing soccer right now. My wife, basically lets me do this. I got 4 children, 14, 12, 10, and 8. Mara is here. Colin's in the back somewhere. There's Colin. There's Colin right there. But my wife keeps the trains running on time, and if I didn't have her supporting me at home, I could not serve in the legislature at all. And she was at she actually got her out for the Mardi Gras last week. But if you see her, please pat her on the back and tell her thank you, because I just can't do this without her. My parents, of course, who are responsible for me being around. My mother's probably my most active constituent. I get, suggestions every day and issues every day. Luckily, she doesn't expect a response from every email, but
she calls me about you.
And she calls me about and lastly, I just want to say, I don't think our party leaders got introduced. There's a couple electeds that didn't get introduced, a couple party leaders. First of all, I saw Ryan McElveen on the school board just walked in. Derek Woods, the Dumfriesttown Council, is here. We also have a member from the Occoquan City Council, Joe McGuire. Oh, yeah, and Otis Carney is running for state senate also here. He's running for Chuck Hogan's seat. Party officers here. Oh, one other candidate. Karen Corbett Sanders, Mount Vernon School Board is here. Our next board member. There's also party people. I just want to make sure the party people recognize. You know, I came up through the party, through the grassroots. Toddy's right. These county jobs, the county party jobs, are totally thankless. But they're so important in helping us be elected. And I know we have the Lee District Chairman, Alex Kirkland here. Slonia Miles, is Slonia still here? Potomac District Chairman, there she is, back there. And Sue Langley, who decided to take my job at the Fairfax County Democratic Committee Chairman. I saw Sue back there somewhere. Lastly, the Secretary of the Democratic Party of Virginia, Steve Bunn, is here, former Lee District Chairman. Anybody we missed? We got everybody now. Okay, great. Well, let me just talk really quick about the past and then about the future, because these races are really all about the future. First of all, about the past, you know, I kind of stumbled into this delegate thing about 6 years ago. That's really what happened. You know, I got this call. Chris Amundsen retired, sort of on a moment's notice. I think I had 5 days' notice that I was becoming a candidate, and I jumped into a race. I got a call from the minority leader, Ward Armstrong, walking back to court. I just finished trying a case, and I see the phone, and I see Ward's calling me and says, "Scott, I need you." And I was like, "What?" He's like, "I need you to run right now." I was like, "Now? There's an election in like 4 months." He's like, "Yep, now." And so I had to start a campaign on 5 days' notice, about 3 months behind my opponent, about $70,000 behind. And I jumped right in and got on it. And we ran a hard grassroots campaign. We had, you know, T-shirts, donkey suits. We had yard signs, lapels. It was a whole lot of fun. Actually, one of my first field organizers is here. Is she still in the room? I don't know. Yeah, there she is back there. But we had a great time, and we won that seat. Huh?
Who is it?
Huh? Sonia. Yeah, you were for Toddy too, right? And anyways, and then, you know, after you get elected, you walk into the state capitol of Virginia, and that whole 3 months to me was a whirlwind. You walk into the state capitol, and you see this statue of George Washington. It's been sitting there pretty much since he was alive. You walk into a building designed by Thomas Jefferson, and all of a sudden, the reality of it all hits you in the face. That this isn't politics anymore. It's real. It's about real people. It's about your community. It's about change, and it really hits you. And as I said in my speech in the House the other day, you sort of spend the first day, few days there going like, how did I get here? Then you spend the rest of the time going like, how did all these other people get here? Except for my Democratic friends. But anyways, since I was elected, I've had a couple focuses. Number one is Route 1, the Route 1 corridor. Route 1 is in desperate need of investment. It's in need of redevelopment, and it's in need of revitalization. And that's why I've been so happy to partner with Toddy on that. And in the 6 years I've served, Toddy and I secured this Route 1 multimodal study. We got a $2 million study, which has sort of laid the groundwork for a bus rapid transit system from Huntington to Woodbridge, and a 2-stop yellow line extension, which would be a total shot in the arm for Route 1. And it's going to happen. It's going to take 10 or 15 years, but it's going to happen. And I'm so proud that we're going to make that happen. We also been fighting for education. I went to West Potomac. Public education got my parents where they were. It got me where I am. I went to James Madison. I went to law school at University of Virginia. Taxpayers put a ton of money in my brain. I wouldn't have had the success in life I've had without the public education system. And we owe that back to our children. And I'm happy to say I've been 100% support from the VA on education since I was elected. And I think we need to go a lot further than we do. I'll talk about that in a second. I've also been focused on economic fairness, the car title lenders, minimum wage, Medicaid expansion, having a fair justice system, being smart on crime, tough on crime. I think has gone too far in the wrong direction, and also focusing on our environment. And I hope to continue doing those things. So going forward, I think the Route 1 corridor shares a lot in common, whether it's Prince William or whether it's Fairfax or Stafford County. This district goes all the way to Stafford, folks. And it has Route 1 the entire way. That's the one common element. And the one thing you have to remember when you serve in this office, you tend to think about voters. There's 200,000 people in this Senate seat. Only 100,000 of them are registered to vote. So who are those other 100,000 people? 60,000 of them are kids, right? 60,000 are children. About 30,000 aren't citizens, and then there's about 10,000 people who have not registered for various reasons. Okay, but about half the district doesn't vote, and a lot of them can't. And you have to remember that you're representing them. You have to remember that those folks are also the people you're representing, and those people, they don't have a PAC, they don't have a lobbyist, they don't have anybody down there advocating for their interests in Richmond. That all they got is us, and you have to keep that in mind. I'm also aware that, as Doug Lopez said, 6% of families in the 36th district live below the poverty line. Now that equates to 14,000 people. 14,000 people here in one of the wealthiest areas in the United States still live below the poverty line. 5,700 of those people are children that are living in poverty in the district we represent. And these are the people we need to pick up. These are the people we need to give them a future and quality of life. These are the people we need to really focus on educating. And first of all, the way we do that, the way I think we focus on everybody to make sure that that rising tide lifts all boats, number one is we need to extend both the yellow line and the blue line. We need to get the blue line not only to Springfield, we need to get it down not only to Woodbridge, not only to Dale City, I think we need to take it all the way to Dumfries. We need to get both those lines. Yes, right? I was just at Ernie Porter's Kickoff, and he's talking about how Prince William County needs to grow its commercial tax base. The way you grow your commercial tax base is you invest in infrastructure and you invest in education. You invest in those two things, the businesses will come and the jobs will come. And it'll lift all boats. That rising tide will lift all boats. It'll help fund your schools. But that's how you do it. You invest in the infrastructure. And that's the one thing I'm going to focus on, bring those people up. But folks, that is a long-term strategy. Short-term, education. Education. We have to focus on education. I was looking at, I'm kind of a numbers geek. I was actually looking at the census data last night for the 36th district. It's really interesting actually. There's like 30 tables, and one of the numbers that really jumped out at me was I pulled down these school enrollment figures for native-born and foreign-born populations. There's 62,000 children in the 36th district. 6.7% of native-born children attend preschool. On the foreign-born side, it's 1/2 of 1%. So in other words, pre-K enrollment, if you're from a foreign-born family, if you're a foreign-born child, is about 15% of what it is for people who were born here. Okay? We are not going to solve this community's education problem without getting these kids into preschool. Okay? As I point out, in the 44th district, the northern part of Route 1, the northern part of the 36th district, there are 14 preschools on the west side of Route 1, on the east side of Route 1. Between the river and Route 1, there are 14 preschools. On the west side of Route 1, there's one. And we are not going to get preschool to these children if we don't make preschool more affordable, accessible, and for that matter, largely free for those families. It's just not going to happen. And the state needs to lead the way on that. The state needs to come up with some money for that, and our localities need to partner on that, making that happen. And that's a good short-term solution. The other big problem in terms of education that I see, there's all kinds of problems. Our education system is desperately underfunded. Prince William County's read in the paper this week, $250 million of unmet needs in the Prince William County school system. Fairfax County has a similar list. The digital divide, folks, is real. If anybody in this room wants to come out and see what it's like to live in poverty, just let me know. I will give you a walking tour. I will send you into Audubon Estates Trailer Park. I'll send you to Meadowwoods Apartments. I'll send you to neighborhoods in Prince William County where you can knock doors and you can talk to families. You can see 5 children crowded around one computer or 5 kids with no computer. Because the digital divide is real. The digital divide, folks, is that low-income families do not have the same access to digital resources, whether it's broadband internet or whether it's a computer in their home. And I don't know how a child can learn, study, do their homework, write a paper, do anything today without a computer. In Fairfax County, that's how you get your homework on Blackboard. In Fairfax County, they rolled out an online textbook system. These children can't access their online textbook without a computer. They can't practice SOLs without a computer. You want to know why schools aren't accredited? You know why kids can't do their SOLs? They don't have a computer. There are 5 jurisdictions in this state. Chesterfield County, Henrico both have over 300,000 people. Alexander, Arlington, and Albemarle. All these counties have mandated computers for every child, 7th grade and up. It's about time Fairfax County and Prince William County got on the train with everybody else and provided computers for every kid. Also, we got to get our teacher salaries up. Teacher salaries are not competitive in Northern Virginia. We have teachers that are going to PG County in Maryland, right across the river. We have teachers Arlington County, sorry Lopez, pay salaries that are better than Fairfax and Prince William. We got to get those salaries up. Yeah, Arlington, you guys. Last thing I'll say really quick about education is our higher education system is critically important. You know, my father's tuition at UVA Law, I think, was $1,500. My tuition at UVA Law was $8,000. Today, if you want to go to UVA Law, thanks to our General Assembly, it costs you $43,000 in state. Okay? We are not supporting our higher education system anywhere close to what we did when I was a child. It used to be much more affordable today, and if you want to have an affordable college education, we got to step up and fund higher education. And then the last 2 things I'll say. Number 1 is economic fairness. Chap is right. Economic fairness is critical. Medicaid expansion, folks, is something we have to do. There are 23,000 people currently, 32,000 people in 36 districts. 16% of 36 districts currently gets their health care from Medicaid. 32,000 people, 23,000 of those are children. Why are kids getting their health care from Medicaid? It's because every one of those kids has a parent that doesn't have health insurance. Right? That's the reason. The Medicaid expansion would insure about 8,000 people. It would provide over 1,000 jobs in the Senate seat. It would provide a stability, quality of life, peace of mind to families who are struggling to make ends meet. And the fact that we continue to send all our taxpayer dollars to Texas and Ohio and California, New York, Tennessee, Kentucky, instead of keeping it right here in Northern Virginia and ensuring our people here in our district, to me, it's political malpractice. And we have to expand the Medicaid system, bring some fairness back. One other of my peeves, unfortunately, the 36th district also means that I get to serve a whole bunch of new car title lenders. You know, these guys, y'all have been seeing all my, you guys have seen the noise I've made about these guys. My law firm represents people who are victimized by car title lenders every once in a while. These folks lend money to people at 297% interest. Okay? 30% per month comes out to 290% APR. We had a woman came into our office, she borrowed $290. By the time she was done, she owed $3,000. Okay? These car title lenders, they're predatory lenders. What they do is morally wrong. I think it ought to be criminal, and I want to get rid of them. I want to wipe them off the face of the earth. Because when they... Just wait till they open that $1 billion casino in Maryland. And when they open that casino in Maryland, there's going to be even more of them. And the last thing Route 1 needs to be known for is it's a one-stop shop for car title lenders. It needs to be known as a destination community. And that's what we're going to do with Metro and education and all the infrastructure we're going to bring. Instead of car title lenders, we need to bring that kind of development. And the last thing I'll say really quick is the environment. Renewable energy is our future, folks. And I'm proud. I've been fighting for solar energy. I've been fighting for renewable energy since I got elected. I'm happy that Dominion Resources has finally started to capitulate. They've finally started to invest in solar. They've recently announced a community net metering project where you and your homes can actually buy solar from them directly to your house. They put me on the press release, they said, because I've been such a thorn in their side about it. So we're making progress, but they're baby steps. The energies of the future, folks, are renewable energy. And the other thing is we need to focus on stormwater management. Environmental management up and down Route 1's a mess. Many of you know I hate shopping carts. Pulled 180 shopping carts out of one creek in my district. So I'm going to be on the hunt for shopping carts down here in Woodbridge and Dumfries. Stormwater down here is a mess. Route 1's a mess. Environmental protection, making our community a better place for the future, for our children, to me, is absolutely critical. And then the last thing I'll say is I also want to have good partners to work with, okay? And you know, I've got a lot of great people to work with in Fairfax County. I'm looking forward to working with Paul Krizak. I'm looking forward to whoever wins the Mount Vernon Supervisors race. Karen Corbett Sanders is going to be our Mount Vernon School Board rep. I'm looking forward to working with her. Prince William County, I'm looking forward to working with Frank Principi on the Board of Supervisors, but he needs more friends. Yeah, I'm going to be working hard in this race. I'm going to run a broad, coordinated campaign. I'm going to help everybody get elected. I'm going to help Ernie get elected. I'm going to help Lily get elected. I'm going to help whoever wins the Potomac District race get elected. I'm going to help Justin get elected down there in Potomac.
Just make sure you get elected.
Yeah, I'm working on that.
That's right.
And where's Rick? Rick Smith. We got to help Rick Smith, County Board Chairman, get elected. So one of the things I've always done is built the party and built the grassroots, and that's one of the things I intend to keep on doing in the 36th district, all the way down to Stafford County, because this is our community is changing, our county is changing, Northern Virginia is changing, and Virginia is changing. And if we partner together, we all work together, and we run a solid grassroots up and down campaign, we can really make a lot happen for everybody, so we can bring all those people and lift them all up. So I want to thank you for coming here today. I want to remind you, I need you to donate, I need you to volunteer, I need you to tell your friends, and lastly, I'm going to need every single one of you to vote for me, maybe on June 9th, but definitely in November. So thank you for coming out today. I appreciate you being here and for all the support.